Welcome to another episode of ADJ Under the Hood. I'm Chuck Green, and this is the ACCU UFO. The ACCU UFO is a modern spin on the classic UFO effect. We had fixtures in the past such as like the saucer and the Orbitron, which were really cool. Some of the issues you have with fixtures like that is in a disc like this, you can't get a fan on it, and now we're using LED, so we've eliminated that problem altogether. The ACCU UFO has 32 8mm diodes. It has 8 red, 8 green, 8 blue, and 8 white diodes. So you can get some really cool colors and some really cool patterns out of this unit. It has 8 and 16-bit pan and tilt, and it also uses some really high quality stepper motors. This thing is silent, there's not a fan on it. This is another really high quality addition to the ACCU family. The ACCU UFO has 540 degrees of pan and 265 degrees of tilt. Then you also have this rotation of the saucer right here. When you have multiples of these things going in a club, it looks crazy. Right here we're using the 8-bit pan and tilt, and then for your fine tuning adjustments you can use the 16-bit pan and tilt, which you're not going to really be able to see on camera, but you'll know when you're programming, trust me. If you're familiar with our ACCU series, this shares the same chassis as the ACCU Spots. It has the same menu, it has the smart sense so it knows if it's in master-slave mode. You can also do RDMX and address it from the console. You can do DMX, sound active, or master slave. So anyway, you got a 4-button menu. And then right here in the middle, we have silk screened on a nice little cheat sheet, which is really helpful when you're on a ladder and you don't want to get the manual out. You have your DMX in and out. And we got our little QC sticker. We talked about that last time. This means it's past quality control here at our place in Los Angeles. So let's go through the DMX attributes. Channel 1's pan. Channel 2 is 16-bit fine pan. Channel 3 is tilt, of course. Channel 4 is fine 16-bit tilt. Channel 5 is the speed of the pan and tilt, which is a handy feature when you're programming. Channel 6 is the lens indexing, or the rotation of the lenses here. Channel 7 is LED effects. You have the RGB effects, and you get a really cool white out of this thing. So if you miss your old Orbitron and you just want white, this is a great fixture for you. Channel 8 is the speed of the LED, the chases that the LEDs do, you can adjust the speed of them. Channel 9 is strobing. You can see it's kind of pulsing a little bit right now. And channel 10 will either reset the attributes or you can throw it into sound active mode. So again, this fixture gives you some really cool effects. It's a really unique complement if you already have moving heads. And you know, DJs a lot of times don't want to complement a moving head with a wash. They want something more disco-y. This is your fixture. So anyway, it uses the same LED technology that most of the American DJ fixtures use. It's got 50,000 hour diodes in it, so that's over 5 years. So if you got a really long party, like a 4 or 5 year long party, this is the fixture for you. This thing weighs nothing. It weighs, I don't know if I have that spec, but I'm guessing 30 pounds, which is nothing for a fixture like this. So anyway, you can run this thing all night. It's going to cover a lot of room on your dance floor, and especially if you have multiples, it's going to look killer. So, like all LED fixtures, this thing has pretty much no heat, which is good, and it pulls hardly any power, so it leaves you plenty of amperage for your power amplifiers and the rest of your sound gear. And because there's no heat, you don't have the insurance liability of burning anybody, and there's no duty cycle. So like I said earlier, you can run it for 5 years. And it's also, that makes it a little eco-friendly, and being Chuck Green, I appreciate that. So having said all that, I think it's time we take this thing apart. All right, so now that we got this thing stripped down a little bit, let's go ahead and take a look first, I guess, at the diodes. So here we've got 32 of the 8mm diodes. You got 8 red, 8 green, 8 blue, and 8 white. And they're pretty darn high output. And we've got these condenser lenses that I popped off the side here. And these really help the output and give it a nice sharp beam. Let's see if we can kick some of those on for you. Yeah, let's see. Well, yeah, you can kind of get an idea. Actually, if I just don't do that at home, by the way, spin it around like that, you can kind of see. Up here we have the motor that attaches to the belt in here that rotates the saucer in either direction. And on the inside here, even though you can't see it, there's a sensor that helps it position itself when you're using a DMX. And then if you check out this side, here's the tilt motor for the saucer, and there's the gear and the belt drive. Again, we pride ourselves on using high quality components. You see our belts here made by 3M, and we've got some other really high quality components. And by the way, all these components are available from our parts store. So if you ever need any parts for your ADJ product, you just get online and go to the parts store, or you can give us a call here in Los Angeles. All right, so down here in the base, we have the main PC board. And one thing I want to point out is that we have lifted the main PC board off of the chassis of the fixture. That way you get much better ventilation. Even though this is an LED fixture and doesn't create any heat, it's important if you're using it in a hot environment that the electronics don't get hot. This is the same chassis as a lot of the ACCU fixtures, but one thing you'll notice is there's no ballast, and that's what makes it much lighter because, again, we're using LED, we're not using a discharge fixture. So again, here's the main PC board, here's the board for the display. You got some high temp cable. Here we have the optical sensor that senses this disc on the pan motor. And what this does is when you program, it tells the fixture in what direction it's headed. All right, here we've got our transformer. But over here, this is really cool, especially if you're one of our international customers or an international DJ traveling around the world. You can change the voltage. Right now we have it tapped to 120 volt, obviously, because we're here in the US, but you can go to 220 volt. But make sure you call in and talk to a technician before you try doing this yourself. We would hate for you to blow your fixture up. Let's put this thing back together and see it in action. Thanks for watching again. Thanks for all your emails and comments. We really appreciate them, and keep them coming. You've been watching American DJ Under the Hood. I'm Chuck Green. See you next time.